Welcome people, we end up back at it again with another video. In today's video, I'll be giving a preview to Chelsea's next game away from home, which is Man City at the Etihad Stadium tomorrow at 7:30 in the evening, South African Standard Time. Now, I will not lie to you guys. I'm fearful, I am scared, I'm not optimistic about this, but we just have to hope that the boys take this game as a dress rehearsal for the Carabao Cup final. Now, if we're being real, it's looking long, right? It's looking difficult. However, what I want to see is a good performance. I just want to see a good performance from the boys. If they play the best possible game that they can play and we get beat 2-0 by Man City, I'm fine with that. It's fine. I'll take that. But I want to see a performance. Tomorrow, if we were to be embarrassed, like a 5-0, a 6-0, whatever it may be, that's when I won't be happy because there's no way you can tell me the boys played well, they put in a good performance and not got a result like that. Yes, performances don't always aren't directly correlated with your results, but if we were to get beaten by like a mad margin like 5-6-0, you can't tell me that we played well. So for that reason, I would be upset. The fact that we didn't play well, and then on top of that, we embarrassed ourselves very badly. But if tomorrow they give it their everything, Man City beat us by 1 or 2 goals, that's okay. That's okay. I won't be mad at that. I just would like us to, how can I say this? Build some momentum prior to the Carabao Cup game. And now you might think a loss isn't building momentum really, but you could find that the boys take this game extremely seriously tomorrow. They play really, really well. Maybe they don't get the rub of the green. They don't get the long end of the stick in this particular situation. But the following week in the Carabao Cup final against Liverpool, they they bring back a similar sort of performance, and in a final you don't know what can happen. Anything can happen, anyone can win, and then maybe go on to win the Carabao Cup, right? I wouldn't mind losing this game if it meant that next week against Liverpool we win the Carabao Cup. So yeah, I just want to see a good performance. Now, in terms of us being able to put on a good performance, it will be difficult because we're playing a very good team, right? They've won 11 straight games in all competitions, right? And in their last 5 games, they've only conceded 5 goals and they've gone and scored 12 in that time. In our last 5 games, we have scored 9, right? Which is 3 less than them, which is not too bad actually. And unfortunately, we have conceded around 12 goals, which is not great. So yeah, but anyways, oh, not 12, it's 10 goals in the last 5 games conceded. So basically averaging 2 goals conceded, right, per game for the last 5 games. But it is what it is. It truly is what it is. Now, there are absentees for both teams, more for Chelsea than Man City, but they do have a few noticeable absentees. So their absentees are Jack Grealish, Bernardo Silva is a maybe for the game. Mateo Kovacic is a maybe for the game. Sergio Gomez is a maybe for the game. And who else? Joško Gvardiol is definitely out for the game. When I say maybes, there are doubts. There is potential for them to play, but we don't know if they will be able to. So that's why I label them as maybes. Now, for Chelsea, who is out? I'll tell you who is out. Hold on, let me just look at the list real quick. So, out, we have Carney Chukwemeka. He twisted his ankle around 2 days ago, so he won't be available for this. Thiago Silva, after 60 minutes of playing against Crystal Palace on Monday, he sustained a groin injury. He's out. He might even be out for the Carabao Cup final against Liverpool. Let's hope for the best, but it's not looking good, bruv. Benoit Barishile, out. Marco Correa, out. Wesley Fofana, out. Reece James, out. Romeo Lavia, out. Leslie Gochuku, out. We have 8 absentees, and Man City have 5, and some of them are maybes. So both teams have absentees. We have more, obviously, and I think that it will be to our detriment. We will be missing some of these players, such as Thiago Silva. When I think about the right back position, Reece James being out and Malo Gusto having to play, I have no issue. I have no issue at all because Malo Gusto has shown himself to be a very, very good backup for Reece. With Levi Colwill, who's going to have to occupy Thiago Silva's place because he's not there, and Badeshile is also not there. So he's definitely playing left centre back tomorrow. Trading Silva for Colwill is not the same as trading James for Gusto. You know, the skill gap is closer between Malo Gusto and Reece James than it is between Levi Colwill and Thiago Silva. And that makes me a little bit worried in terms of how we'll be organized defensively tomorrow at the back. Because with Thiago Silva, you've got someone who's not so fast, right? Yes, he's old. Yes, he's pushing 40. We hear all those arguments all the time. But the way he reads the game is simply immaculate. It is simply immaculate. And Levi Colwill has potential to be a really good player one day. However, in fact, he's a good player right now. But the way he reads the game and the way Thiago reads the game, worlds apart. So that makes me a little bit nervous, but it is what it is. We just have to build a strong starting 11 regardless and see what the starting 11 can do. Now, interestingly enough, Robert Sanchez is back. He is available for selection for this game, but Petrovic has been playing really well. Petrovic has been playing very, very well, right? I feel as though he makes the stops that you would expect him to make, and sometimes, on occasion, he will surprise you and pull out a stop that you weren't expecting him to make. You'd think, okay, this ball is in, it's done, right? And then he saves us, and you're like, my word, what a brilliant save. So I like that about him, right? In terms of the bare minimum, he meets that, and sometimes he exceeds that. And on top of that, importantly, unlike Sanchez, he doesn't make mistakes that put the team in jeopardy. You know what I'm saying? I think all the time that he's been playing in goal, I've seen him make maybe 2 mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Where Sanchez, he can be playing really well and he can still make mistakes. So for that reason, Petrovic continues in goal for me. And in my ideal lineup, we're playing a 4-2-1-3, right, in attack. And in defense will be a 4-5-1, right? But we'll get into the tactics of how we play in and out of position soon enough. Right back, I would go with Malo Gusto, 100%. I'm very, very happy for him to start at right back. Will he pocket Doku for sure? I'm not sure. But I trust that he will play a very good game. He's only 20, right? Just a year older than me. But the way he expresses himself on the pitch, you wouldn't think he's so young. You'd think the way he plays as if he's a lot older than he actually is. You know when people say that this person is wise beyond their years, that's how he is in a footballing sense. So I'm very happy for him to be playing there, and I hope he has a good game defensively and offensively as well. Right centre back, it can be none other than Axel Disasi. We don't have other options right now. And Disasi has his flaws, but he's not rubbish. He's not terrible. We'll have to take it. Disasi at right back, right centre back. Left centre back, Levi Colwill, right? I have already explained that Thiago is out. Benoit Badeshile is out. It is what it is, right? Axel Disasi and Levi Colwill tomorrow, they just have to step up and they have to show us that they are Chelsea men, that they are men who are capable of handling massive pressure, like such as the big game that we're playing tomorrow. And not only can they handle that pressure, they can thrive in it. They must show us tomorrow. They need to step up. We need everyone to step up, and especially those two, because those two are the second last line of defense. If Man City are through on goal, right, it's looking like they're going to score, it's more than likely that if anyone can stop them, it's going to be one of the centre backs. So we just have to trust them and hope that they show us what they're made of. That's it. Left back, I'll go with Ben Chilwell. Now, Chilwell has his critics. And is it unjustified, the criticism that he gets now and then? No, it's not. No, it's not. Absolutely not. However, I feel that in the last game against Crystal Palace, he was decent, and I'm hoping that this big occasion will bring out the Ben Chilwell of old, the Ben Chilwell of the UCL times. Remember that season we won the Champions League and he was just balling out? I want him to go back to that version of himself. The version of himself that was playing very, very well in the season following the one in which we won the Champions League before he had his injury. If he can go back to that Ben Chilwell for the next 2 games, just the next 2 games at least, we're going to get a lot out of him, and it could really help us as a team. So I'm hoping for a good game from him. And obviously, as a vice captain of the football club, with the club captain out, he will captain the side tomorrow. And I hope that he shows leadership, right? Because we do have a young squad, and not only do we need every member of the team to step up, but the ones who have the experience, right, who've been at the club for a while, we need them to show the way, especially in these big games. So I'm hoping that Benno is capable of doing that tomorrow. In the double pivot, I'll go with Enzo and Caicedo, right? Now, some people have said that they don't like it when Chelsea are playing and Enzo and Caicedo are miles apart because that leaves us vulnerable, right, to attacks by the opposition. And I hear that. In recent games, defensively, well, when I say defensively, I'm looking at how the midfield are defending, right, specifically, and how they're protecting the back four. I think they've been decent. I really do think they've been decent, and I want to see them keep it up. Caicedo is susceptible to losing the ball, so tomorrow I don't want him to do anything fancy, right, in our half. If he wants to do anything fancy, right, he can do it in the opposition half. It's not a problem, right? But nothing fancy from him in our half tomorrow, because I remember on Monday, he was involved in us conceding the goal that we did because he gave the ball away. I remember last year, we played Nottingham Forest at home. I think we lost that game 1-0. For the goal, he was also involved in losing the ball, right? So he has this habit where he does lose the ball. He is susceptible to that. But I'm hoping tomorrow he just plays it simple in our half, do fancy things if he wants to in the opposition half, not in our half tomorrow. Please, brother, please. As for Enzo Fernandez, 2 goals in the last 2 games. I'm happy for him. I'm very happy for him in terms of his newfound goal scoring ability. Will he necessarily score tomorrow? I'm not sure, but the fact that he scored in the last 2 games will give him confidence, and we will need confidence going into this game. As much as we are 10th and Man City are up there, we need to believe in ourselves. And with the last 2 games that Enzo has had, I feel like he will have belief in himself, relatively a good amount of belief in himself. So yeah, I hope he smashes it tomorrow. Now, who plays in front of them as the number 10? None other than the roadrunner himself, Conor Gallagher. Now, I think it was on Monday, Conor Gallagher ran around 13 kilometers, right? This man can run and run and run. Maybe he should have taken an interest in track and field when he was younger, because this man can really run. Now, with him, he's going to be important tomorrow because he's one player who's very good at pressing, right, and winning the ball high up the pitch. And I feel that something we have to execute tomorrow in order to get a positive result is to press Man City, to press them and do not give them time and space on the ball, make them uncomfortable, rile them up, you know what I'm saying? Because they are in a much better position than us in the league. They're playing at home, right? They're one of the best teams in the world, right? Everything is on their side going into this game. They have fewer injuries than us. They've won their last 11 games on the bounce. There isn't anything that I can think of that isn't going their way. So what we have to do is cause the disruption tomorrow. In my marketing classes, I've been learning about industries who don't digitalize, and then they face the threat of going bankrupt because of digital disruption from outside the industry and whatnot. Tomorrow, Chelsea have to disrupt Man City. Do not let them play, right? Do not let them get comfortable on the ball. Do not let them ping the passes that they like to ping, especially De Bruyne if he starts. Do not give that man time and space. Hassle him, right? And when going in for tackles, leave a little bit extra on them, make them feel that, okay, this guy is there. This guy's on me the whole game, right? So that's what I need from the team. And I feel like Conor Gallagher can be a driving force for that particular sort of attitude and approach to the opposition. Now, the three players in front of him. On the left, it's simple, Nicholas Jackson. On the right, it's simple, Raheem Sterling. And through the middle, in the false nine, it's simply Cole Palmer. Now, I'll tell you why I've chosen to do this. I'll tell you why. I've chosen to go with Jackson on the left because Jackson seems very, very comfortable on the left. I didn't know this before, but he used to be a left winger. So when you're seeing him playing well on the left, it actually makes sense. He's going back to default settings, right? Now, is he perfect in that role? Right? Did he have a perfect game on Monday? No, he didn't. But he was decent, in my opinion. In my personal opinion, he was decent, and he's been better in that position than he has been in the number 9. So for that reason, I'm playing him on the left, and I just want him to cook. I just want him to link up, which he does really, really well, really well. And I heard commentators saying that he struggles when he has to play with his back to goal in the number 9 role, but when he's playing on the wing, right, and he's basically, how can I say this? He doesn't have his back to goal. He's facing goal. He gets to run into spaces, right, and that sort of thing. He can do a really good job because also he's good at dribbling. So for that reason, he starts on the left. Simple. On the right, I am going with Raheem Sterling, right? And the reason I'm going with Raheem is because I think he will be very, very determined to beat his former employers. Now, with Sterling, he's up and down, he's inconsistent. Even though he's been a champion before, many times before, and he's got all this experience and he scored all these goals that he has, and he's played for England X amount of times, he is inconsistent at his big boy age, which is unfortunate. But with Raheem's inconsistency, right, there are obviously moments of really, really bad play from him, and you just like think to yourself, why are you playing like this, mate? You're better than this. But at the same time, there are those moments where he's simply incredible and he just explodes and he puts on an immaculate performance. And for that reason, he starts, right? I think playing his former employees, he'll be very determined. And that determination, I think, can lead him to do great things for us tomorrow. So he starts for that reason. Simple as. Up top, I'm going with Cole Palmer. And I know the false 9 is not his best position. I know that. But with the issues that we have with Jackson in the number 9, right? And the fact that I feel like Nkunku's not fully fit to start. For those reasons, he has to play in the false 9 and affect the game however he can. And with him playing in the false 9, I think one thing that he could do, right, to make himself most effective for the team is to drop deep and be a playmaker from there. Who said he has to stand on the penalty spot, right, when we're attacking? No one said he has to do that, even though he's playing in the number 9 position. He is a false 9. So if I were him, what I would do if I'm playing false 9 tomorrow is drop deeper, receive the ball, and do what he does best, which is to create great plays for the team, right? Pick up the ball, find a yard of space, right? Look at the options that you've got. Maybe you've got Jackson on the left who's making a run inside, can slip him the ball, and maybe he has a one-on-one with the keeper now because he's made an excellent run and you've provided him with a perfect pass. Or that could be Sterling, right? If he chooses not to look on the left and he chooses to look on the right. He could start a play with Malo Gusto and Raheem Sterling on the right-hand side, run into the box, Gusto crosses it, he gets on the end of it. There's quite a few things we can do. So I don't want him to be just reduced to staying down the middle. I want him to have free roam and do whatever he wants to do. Do whatever he thinks is going to allow us to create the most number of chances and for him to be the most effective. So that's the team I would go with. And I already know that other people who make Chelsea content are going to put Nkunku in their lineups, right? People who have like Instagram pages where it's Chelsea centered and they do previews and reviews and whatnot, they're going to put Nkunku in their lineup probably, but I don't know if he's fit to start, so I wouldn't start him for such an important game. So, yeah, that's that. Let's hope for a good performance. And yeah, that's all I can say. That is really all I can say. Match prediction. Match prediction. Score prediction. Sorry, score prediction. I'm not feeling confident, to be honest. I want the boys to put in their best, and I want them to just leave it all on the pitch, and hopefully things go our way. But I don't think they will. I'm just being real. I think we're going to lose this game, and I think Man City will win 3-1. That's my honest prediction. I hope I'm wrong. I hope the boys prove me wrong. But that's what I'm thinking genuinely at this moment in time. So yeah, guys, that's a preview for today. I'm gonna watch the game tomorrow. Hopefully enjoy it. Then after that, put out the review, and in the review we'll speak about what happened. Maybe I'll be happy, maybe I'll be sad. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna let you go now. Please like the video, share the video, comment on the video, right? Subscribe and hit the bell notifications to be notified once I've uploaded. Peace.